Hello and welcome to the Luxury Living Podcast. On the Luxury Living Podcast, we explore ideas and technologies that help make your home more convenient, easier to use, and just generally more fun to be around. If this is the first time you found the Luxury Living Podcast, please like and share it, leave us a comment, give us an idea of subjects you would like us to cover. And if you're a welcome regular visitor, well, welcome back. And again, you too can leave a comment and give us ideas on things to talk about. The Luxury Living Podcast every week has different guests on. Normally I have Keith Brown. He can't be with us here today, but instead of having Keith Brown, I do have Tony Blodgett. Tony is the National Sales Manager for Seura. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks very much for joining. So, Tony, why don't we start by telling us a bit about who Seura is?
Sure. Seura is all about the perfect harmony of technology and design. So we're a company that was founded by our co-founders and current owners, Tim and Gretchen Gilbertson, in their garage back in 2003. They really created a TV mirror as a finished solution. And from there, we've expanded to lighted mirrors, lighted TV mirrors, indoor waterproof TVs, and have evolved into being an outdoor TV manufacturer. So we've been manufacturing outdoor TVs for over 9 years, and I understand that's what we're really here to focus on today. It's an exciting topic.
Yeah, let's talk about, we had a podcast last time about landscaping, and we funnily enough, didn't manage to talk about televisions for some reason, but we thought you'd be a great addition to fill in the gap.
Appreciate that.
So we'll start at a pretty basic level, and we'll get deeper in it. So first of all, there's a difference between an indoor TV and an outdoor TV, isn't there? What's the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is, one, honestly, be warranty, and what trickles from that, though, is how that TV is designed. So all outdoor TVs, all reputable outdoor TVs, they're going to be weatherproof. They're going to be dustproof. They're going to be rainproof. They're going to have an IP rating, 54, 55, 56. So an indoor TV, read the first 3 pages of that manual. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't put me outside. And avoid the warranty. Potentially has some other issues, with liability. So it's very important that if it's an outdoor application, we're using an outdoor TV.
Okay, so the first thing about being outdoor, I guess, it depends where you live. If you come from England, it would be about rain, but we'll get to that in a minute, is about sun. So sunshine is different in terms of the amount, as is, I understand it, the type of sun you get. Talk a bit about that.
Yep. So going into outdoor TVs then. So we've established, okay, it's outside, we need an outdoor TV. Even amongst outdoor TVs, I've really seen that there's probably 3 categories that have emerged. You have sort of your, commoditized full shade TVs, where these TVs, they are not designed to go in full sun at all. They don't necessarily have what we call a high T&I panel. So they're not built to withstand high temperatures. They might still be, rainproof, but definitely not heat proof. And then you have like high performance non-direct sun TVs. So these TVs typically can resist some pretty high temperatures. They will have those high T&I panels. But the third category is what's very unique in that there are full sun TVs. And these TVs both have high temperature ratings for the panels, but they also typically have active heating and cooling elements so that TV can live in the direct sun. Even when it's off, it's going to be doing its job to regulate the temp.
Okay, so there's a difference between a TV that sits like in your covered porch, a TV that sort of is around your barbecue, and one that for some reason you put in the middle of the garden.
Correct. Yep. If it's under a covered area, one TV will work for that. If it's in that fully exposed environment out by the pool, out by your garden, that's a pass-fail application where you definitely need a full sun outdoor TV.
Okay, so the first thing is sun. So that's because they get hot. I mean, I guess if the sun's on you can't just take a regular TV and turn the contrast up, can you? Because I know that would make it brighter, but that panel's not going to survive sun blaring on it for 10 hours a day, is it?
Correct. Yeah, this isn't about performance in the terms of what differentiates really the high performance non-direct sun and the full sun. Certainly performance is a critical factor, but it's the internal components that are regulating the temperature of the internal electronics of that TV. That's what's key to make it a full sun solution.
And you know, if I think about it, if I think about my television now, there are vents on the side of it. I guess it's not like the days of tubes where, you know, they generated 10,000 volts and a lot of heat. But even a modern LCD or an OLD or whatever it is generates quite a lot of heat, and that has to escape somewhere, doesn't it?
Yes, yep, that's correct. So most of the like full shade or non-direct sun TVs, those will typically be fully sealed units. Um, and they're built for that. With the full sun TVs, they will typically have a ventilation system, and they'll have filters, you know, to keep out dust and critters out of that TV, but still use thermodynamics to utilize airflow to regulate the temperature of the electronics.
So not only do they have to get cool, the other problem with vents, I guess, is water gets in them. And as I understand from my science as a kid, water and electricity is a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah, very much so, and that's kind of the key thing with all the warnings on an indoor TV. But these outdoor TVs are designed again to be fully rainproof, and you know, I will say some folks will ask, you know, can you hose it down? You know, how waterproof is it? Just keep this point in mind though. Hose water is groundwater. Groundwater is hard water. You spray your TV down with a hose, you might be able to do that, but be sure to dry that off, because that hard water, if it dries on the TV, it will cause mineralization and actually damage the panel.
Interesting. So we've got sunlight, we've got water, we've all got critters. You know, if you live in the Northeast, you not only got heat, you've also got cold, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah.
Which is a bigger problem, hot or cold, for these things?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're in the upper Midwest, and
you're in Green Bay, so you know cold.
Yeah, we love the cold. We live the cold. You know, we've got you know, this is where, you know, the frozen tundra is. So the frozen tundra of the Green Bay Packers, and so the cold is a critical situation where really all panels, once you get below that freezing, you won't necessarily have ideal performance, but it's going to survive once it gets cold. So an indoor TV usually has, you know, definitely above freezing, low end operating temp. But then once you get into some of these TVs designed for full sun, they're also going to have heating elements in there as well. And some of these can go to 40 below zero.
And it's safe to use them at that. Not that I'm going to be anywhere near 40 below zero.
Oh, you come on up for a Packer game.
Yeah, but you can use these TVs in the. Is it safe to use them in hot and cold? Are there environments, sort of edges of that you would suggest people didn't?
Oh, 100%. Yep. And we publish, you know, the operating temperatures are published, and then your storage temperatures are even beyond that. So usually, you know, when people ask, like, what's the real world application here? You know, with some of these TVs, it's pretty simple. It's any reasonable environment that you're going to be outside in, the TV is going to work. And any environment short of an apocalyptic event, most of these TVs can survive outside, that are designed for it.
Okay, we have relatively few clients that ask us about apocalyptic events, but I'm going to add that to the brochure, but that our TV, when we work with you guys, will survive for everything bar a full zombie attack. It's
a different world these days.
Are they saving from COVID, I guess, is the real question. Talk about sound, because a modern TV, particularly, you know, some of the really expensive ones you put in the house, sound pretty much sucks coming from those. How does the sound work outside for you guys?
So just like you have a lot of high ambient lighting outside that really requires panels to perform optimally, you also have a lot of high ambient noise. So it's key to have the right audio solution for these TVs. Built-in downfiring speakers, they're not going to get it done. So with outdoor audio, to complement the outdoor video, you know, I mean, you have outdoor lighting, audio, video, everything outside to provide that full experience. Audio solutions can range from, you know, a dedicated sound bar to go with the TV, or maybe a couple, you know, marine speakers by the TV, all the way to very complex landscape audio systems. But definitely, to your point, yeah, internal TV speakers, it's not going to cut it.
And I guess that's the great thing. If you come to someone like Bravas, we can integrate the sound from that television into your outdoor speakers and make it a real experience. So someone at the pool can still listen to the game that's on on the sun deck or something.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing is and that's where Bravas comes in to really integrate that full solution. Here at Seura, we're providing the video solution, but there's certainly more to that. We do have audio solutions as well in terms of some sound bars, but it's important that with the Bravas team being on site, understanding how that space is going to get utilized, you're going to be able to provide that whole solution, for your client.
Okay, talk to me about sizes of outdoor television. So there's now a huge range in indoor televisions. Does that sort of range exist in outdoor TVs too?
Yeah. I can speak of sizes from 43 inches up to 86. So that's pretty much the size range that you'll find with most indoor. It's tougher and tougher these days to find smaller indoor TVs. But for like dedicated, like high performance outdoor TVs, you're looking at sizes from about 43 up to 86, 85, 86. And then I know some people say, well, what about these digital signs that we saw at the local NFL stadium? It's like, well, though, that's a different solution. That's it. We're not talking about digital signage here. We're not talking about those commercial type signage applications. We're talking about, a high-end viewing experience at someone's home.
And are they typically a lot more expensive than regular televisions?
It depends. I mean, you see the price points of when we say regular TV, right? Certainly there's huge gaps even amongst that, $500 to tens of thousands of dollars, just relative to the size, how new the technology is. So honestly, it's relative to say that. I will say, when you're looking at that kind of full shade category where it's more of the commoditized, their job is to get the price points down to match up as close as possible with a commoditized indoor TV. So there your trade-off is you can either spend that money and get an outdoor TV or spend that money and get an indoor TV with performance, but you certainly don't want to put that outside. But then once you get into those non-direct sun performance TVs at that price level, it's an investment, but it's also very comparable to a high performance indoor TV. And then once you get to the full sun, I would say those price points are probably more comparable to, kind of the introductory technology of indoor TVs.
Yeah, but we're not describing 2, 3, 4 times. You're not paying double or triple for one of these televisions. It's an incremental amount for the technology, but it's not crazy difference.
Yeah, again, it depends on the application. And when you are looking at the full sun, usually more premium price points, but it's a pass-fail solution.
Yeah, look, 85-inch televisions are expensive, whichever type you get, wherever you put them. But I don't want people to be scared off, because there's something great about sitting outside in your deck, watching a game, or enjoying some. We've got the Olympics coming up. We've just had Wimbledon. There's the perfect time to sit outside and enjoy the television with a drink, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And with the right setup, that's the thing. Depending on the setup or how you want to set up your backyard space, you're going to have a solution where you can have video to enjoy out there.
That's great. Listen, you mentioned earlier you also do mirrors in televisions. So probably not outside, or televisions in mirrors.
No.
I guess that not an outside thing. But we're all seeing these much more, aren't we, in hotels and in restaurants and places. Talk a bit about that business and how you guys approach that.
Sure. No, all this stuff is fun, right? I mean, that's why it's so exciting to talk about, because it's unique solutions that people don't necessarily think about. And with the mirror side of things, I mean, that's so much the case. So, we have TV mirrors for vanity applications, TV mirrors for entertainment spaces. With us being a US-based manufacturer, we provide scaled solutions as well, throughout the home. So when you look at those spaces, you're like, man, I'd really love to have a TV here. I know I need a mirror, but I also would love to incorporate video while maintaining design. We can do that. And then looking at the vanity applications of the home, the big application that's growing there is lighting. I know you guys are doing a lot of lighting control, and we have fixture complements to that with our lighted mirrors and lighted TV mirrors. So really,
describe a lighted mirror to me. I think I can get the
okay.
concept of a television in a mirror because, it's a small screen that's showing me something. Talk about the lighting and what that means.
So you ever see those, dressing room makeup mirrors, the gaudy incandescent bulbs around the mirror? Well, the reason they use that type of lighting instead of your traditional downfiring sconce is because that lighting provides more quality lighting. It reduces shadows. It's better for makeup application. So we have, with lighted mirrors, brought that same quality of lighting, but in a more elegant, arguably more elegant solution where the mirror itself has etching in it, and there's an electrical housing with lighting components, very high quality lighting components, 90 plus CRI. And, I know, you recently, discussed some of these components with Ketra.
Exactly.
And some of these factors are so important with the quality of lighting. So our lighted mirror fixtures are really bringing higher quality lighting in a more elegant solution. So yeah, it's ultimately a backlit mirror, but to provide better quality lighting. So.
That's great. And is this something you think we're only seeing in the very, very biggest, most expensive houses, or is this really sort of finding itself into a mass market?
Oh, to be honest, lighted mirrors on their own could be a commoditized category. You might find a lot just online, cheap stuff, right? So it's very important to understand, like with Seura lighted mirrors, you're investing in quality glass, quality lighting components, again, with a very high color rendering index, which is effectively the percentage of the color spectrum that light source is illuminating. And, from our perspective too, we provide the best quality experience because everything's made to order. Everything is designed and produced to order. So if you have a specific vanity and a specific lighting setup that you need, we will design and produce that.
That's amazing because my guess is you get some pretty interesting requests for unusual shapes and sizes.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. And especially on the hospitality commercial world, right? They're always pushing the envelope to provide their guests a unique experience. And that's really where lighted mirrors were born and have, dramatically come over to the residential side. We have very affordable solutions, relative to that quality and that, so we're providing value in that space that you start and you end your day in and day out.
Now I think about it, I have another question about TVs in mirrors that I've never really understood is how do you get the picture to that TV? Is it cable or is it, if someone was said, oh, I would like a TV in my bathroom, what would they, in the bathroom mirror, what would they actually need to get to provide the picture to that TV, the signal?
Well, again, that's where Bravas comes into play, typically providing the sources and running the wires, the cables, providing an audio solution that's ideal for that application. But ultimately, it's, whether it's in a source connected via HDMI, that's the typical way that folks are integrating content with the TV mirrors.
So the answer is it's an HDMI mirror. So, you plug an HDMI, whatever comes out that provides you an HDMI. Okay, let's just go back to the outdoor stuff for a minute, which is really where we started. What's going on in outdoor? What's new or fresh? What are you guys looking at for the next generation that people might get excited about they could do with an outdoor TV?
I will say taking design again is always something that we're, that's who we are. So we're always maintaining or improving the high design aspect. But where we really take pride in what we've done with our outdoor TVs and blending, again, that perfect harmony of technology and design, really upping the game on performance. Our goal is to bring the indoor viewing experience outside to the greatest extent possible. So solid product quality with solid product performance. That's what we continue to develop and strive to improve.
And we look forward to sharing that with our clients. Before we let we go, Tony, we always play a 3-question game with those people who've been generous enough to give us time. So let me try the 3 questions on you.
Okay.
First question, just short answers if you want. Is there a piece of home technology, home automation that you use that you don't think you could live without?
Does my beer fridge count?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's on there.
beer fridge is perfect. We've had the most bizarre so far is a celery juicer. So I
Yeah.
think you and I would be much more comfortable with a beer fridge than a celery juicer. At least I would be.
Put a can or bottle of beer in, and it automatically gets it cold. It's magic.
That's
No, but with the automation side of things, I'm very much someone that I need stimulation. I need sports on, music, whatever. And so it's when you can walk in and have that turn on, that's what I need. That's what I need for sanity. Yeah.
When you think about your work life question too, is there a job you can think of you did, or a client situation where you went, wow, that's amazing. That's really the best example of what we do. Can you think of one of those?
I mean, I'm gonna give you kind of two, because one, I take hometown pride in this little stadium up here in Titletown, USA, that folks know pretty well. Just having all three generations of our ultra bright outdoor TVs there, but one that I really love, and I tell this story a lot, is it was actually home down south in Arizona, and I walk in the backyard, and okay, picture like a sport court way on one side, and then he's got a cabana in the center, and then a putting green and pool all fully exposed on the far side. Very expansive audio system with nothing but a little indoor TV in this little cabana right in the center. And I just asked the question, hey, how and where do you spend your time out here? It's like, oh, 90% of the time we're out here by the pool. Like, why don't you have a TV there? And at the end of the day, and he had a family, right? He was a family man, and he's just like, well, we never, I don't know, it's in the full sun. We had to put it here. Like, hold on, right? Don't sell yourself short. We have TVs for full sun. We can get you that viewing experience there. And he just didn't know. He loves it. So I always take pride in that application.
That's perfect. Have we got a TV for you? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or finally, last question, Tony. If there was a piece of technology or a gadget that hadn't been invented yet that could be invented, what would make your life easier? Can you think of one?
This is tough to think about, and it may exist, but not en masse. And I'm going to say a golf ball I can never lose.
Okay.
If I could just walk up to my ball after shanking it into the rough. Well, that's a dirty word, shank. When you're a golfer, you don't want to be saying that word, right? But when you hit that hosel rocket over into the rough or the cabbage, to just be able to walk over and grab that thing, I would love it. So the pros have it easy. They've got a gallery to spot.
They have people to help them with that. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Listen, Tony, we're really grateful for you joining us. We had some technical difficulties getting this together, so thank you for your patience. Thank you for your partnership, and thank you for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.